Magic Music Production.
Welcome to the Going North podcast, where we will deliver you tips and techniques to advance yourself in anything you decide to do in life. I am your host, Dom Brightman, and every Thursday I will interview authors, especially self-published ones from various walks of life, who will deliver you information and inspiration to help you charge forward. On a quick side note, be sure to check out my book, Going North, on Amazon.com. It's available on ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the Going North podcast, we have, you guessed it, another author, but not just any author. This wonderful lady right here has some experience, I'm telling you, y'all. She's got some great experience. A few years in Toastmasters International Organization as an area governor, now known as the area director. She is also a seminar leader and a business and life coach, especially for those who are looking for love, looking to maintain love, and to just have an all-around awesome life. And she is the author of the wonderful book titled Single Wife, Trapped Husband. And I'm talking about none other than the Miss Freda Milton. How are you today?
Hi, I am well, and how are you today?
Oh, I'm fabulous.
Great, awesome. Happy New Year.
Oh, it is a new year indeed. New year, same me. I mean, new me, yeah. Woo! So I just gave a short little glimpse into the wonderful life of the truly fabulous Freda. Mind filling in the gaps where I may have missed some things?
You actually hit it right on the nose. I am the author of the ebook Single Wife, Trapped Husband, which is not a dramatic book about relationships falling apart or male bashing. It's actually a book.
We're safe, brothers. Woohoo!
I know, right? It's actually a book that helps couples identify their problems and how to come up with solutions. So, woo-hoo! Instead of a woman feeling single and alone in a committed relationship, or a man feeling trapped, not physically but emotionally, I wake up, I go to work, what do you want me to do? We come together to see what's really going on and help everybody move forward.
That's great to hear indeed, because at first glance of the ebook, I was like, oh man, single wife, trapped husband, is this like S&M or something? Like, what is this?
Oh my. No, the subtitle helps a couple's guide to identifying our problems.
I mean, that could help solve a couple's problems, right? Let me stop.
Oh, no, actually, you might be right. Hey, different strokes, different folks. Whatever works for you.
So what inspired you to come up with that title and put the book out there to help out couples?
Okay, so along the way of working with couples over the years and just being an observation of some wonderful couples, I realized that, the main theme for a lot of couples was it was separated by gender. So I got the impression overall, women may have felt alone in their relationship, and men may have felt trapped. And so thus the title, Single Wife, Trapped Husband.
Yeah, because that's a big struggle today in 2018. I mean, we got folks out here working 3 jobs, and I'm not just talking about the parenting job either. It's like you got the one full-time job, maybe the side hustle, then the parenting. Mom's got a job or 2, and then she's got to be the mom for the kids, rear the kids behind, and then there's also just a random couples game too, where you got social media out there, and it adds a whole new dimension, especially if you chose the wrong partner who is not responsible with their social media, and they tend to make social media their journal, their life journal with photos, videos, and not just words.
Right, and so you're right, there's a lot of distractions out there. And some of it is, needed distraction, like working and things like that. All the more reason for couples to come together so the home can be a peaceful place of welcome distraction. And I like to keep in mind that absence makes the heart grow fonder. So while we're all very busy, you may not have as much time for your mate as you'd like, but that's great. So hopefully you miss them a little bit, and that will inspire mates to come up with ways to please one another once they are in one another's company. You know what I mean? Like keep it peaceful, and it can be for free. Like, you know what, honey, you want to go for a stroll, even though that's what your wife likes to do, or you can make your husband's favorite meal. You know, whatever works. That fits into your schedule, make it consistent, diversify what you do, and that'll make the relationship all the better.
Yeah, true indeed, especially the whole absence makes the heart grow fonder. It kind of reminds me of the olden days where it was man was the breadwinner of the household and the lady would be at home taking care of the home and the kids and everything, and then daddy would come back and be like, yay, daddy's home.
Yeah, it's inspiring another book.
Ah, sweet. Got to make those books grow. Grow them trees.
Yes, for sure.
So what trials did you have to overcome in creating your book, and just not only creating your book, but also being a coach as well?
Okay, so the challenge of writing the book was basically committing the time to do so. You know, as we were both just discussing, our lives are very full with meaningful activities, fortunately, but nevertheless, that does limit our time. So I will often have to write at very spontaneous times. So instead of saying, hey, I'm going to write every night at 7 o'clock, just be more realistic and commit to writing whenever the opportunity presented itself. And I was able to finish the book. And as for coaching, some of the challenges is definitely when it comes to relationship coaching is people are at different stages in their lives, experiencing different things, they have different expectations, and you really have to learn how to bridge that gap before you begin the work. And you have to work with two people who are willing to do that, to really talk and really listen and engage and really overcome a couple of challenges they may have faced in the past that's affecting their present relationship, and then we could do some real work. And sometimes that's the most difficult part. It itself is not so challenging because it was very natural for me to educate myself on life coaching. However, as you know, with most of our gifts, it just flows naturally if you're operating your gift. So coaching itself is not too difficult. It's actually just applying some of the methods when you have challenging situations.
Well spoken indeed, especially the gift part, because folks like to unwrap gifts. So what helped you to, quote-unquote, unwrap your gift?
Well, because it is a gift, like any other gift, you are anxious to unwrap it, right? You would love to see what's inside and what you can do with it and where you can go with it and how you can show it off and use it. So what makes me unwrap it is whenever I'm triggered. So if I encounter someone who I believe can benefit from my service, and sometimes I actually benefit from working with people too. I grow and develop with my gift, not only by book knowledge, but by actually working with people. So if I encounter someone who I believe can benefit from my service, I definitely unwrap the gift and I present it and see if it is it.
Good stuff indeed. Yeah, because sometimes folks may shine a light on you, realize that you may have a gift, because sometimes we may have trouble finding out we actually have gifts on our own.
And you know what's great about relationships, and that's not just romantic relationships, people who really know you will be able to help you identify a gift. They'll say, you know what, you seem to be really great at or really good at. You ever thought about developing that skill or looking more into that? And, you know, or along the journey you realize you're gravitating more towards one subject matter or one industry over the other. Those definitely can be learned. You could definitely take the typical old school route, taking a career test or a personality test, combining the two, and, you know, researching careers within that realm. So it's definitely going to be identified.
ISFJ's in the house. Woo!
Hey, woo!
Myers-Briggs everywhere. Well, alrighty. For those who are looking to join the multi-billion-dollar industry of life coaching, what advice would you give to them?
I would say definitely make sure that it's your gift, and you can do that by, one, listening to yourself and your spirit and your gut, then also working with family and friends, and then moving beyond that, because that's definitely a gauge at how well you are able to actually execute your gift, and you can learn what classes you may need to take, if any, and then stay the course and do not give up. And if it's your true gift, you're going to operate in that gift whether you are full-time employed and paid or not. But you can do it. We can all operate in our gifts in one fashion or the other.
Definitely indeed. Definitely indeed. Because I think it was Les Brown who talks about the fact that the graveyard is very rich of folks who never use their gifts in the world. And
I know. Yeah. And then another thought I would add is oftentimes we look at business relationships as client and business owner and client. And what I mean by that is sometimes we're so accustomed to the client removing themselves from our business. But sometimes it's okay for a life coach to remove themselves from a client, tactfully and respectfully, but know when to remove yourself from a situation. And when you realize that you can no longer help a client, it's in your best interest and theirs to tactfully and respectfully and according to your contractual terms, remove yourself from the situation. Definitely, I would say that. It's okay.
Yeah, that's interesting indeed. It's the first time I actually heard a coach talk about getting away from one of their clients at probably one of those moments where the client may be going overboard and forget they're human or something.
And I also like to add, if you don't mind if I go back, when I stated that we can always operate in our gifts, whether we're full-time employed or paid or not. Just find some way to tap into that part of ourselves because we all need to live full lives. And part of living a full life is tapping into everything that's provided for us and that we can give and receive from. So, like, for instance, I know someone who would love to teach and she has the credentials to teach, but she just really cannot bring herself to teach in a traditional way in a classroom setting. So she actually is a church member, and so she teaches Sunday school, and she loves it. So she's found some way to tap into that part of her gift, and that way is not avoiding the area. So we can always find ways to operate in our gifts in different parts of our life, if not full-time, fully paid, like any other job.
Wise words indeed, especially using that nice little story about your fellow church member teaching Sunday school as a way of actually putting her gift to use and her desire to use. Not only actually putting her credentials to use, too.
Yes.
Actually, that's almost a rarity these days because a lot of folks, they go to college and school and they get a degree in something, then they get a job to pay the bills, they stay there for a certain amount of time, and it's a complete 180 of what they went to school for.
Yes. But it's okay, isn't it? Yes, it's okay. What's important is at the time, those of us who decided to pursue an education or a skill or trade, we made a decision that we thought was best at the time. We followed through until the end, got our stamp of approval, and that's okay. We decided to change our minds later. Because what you learn in the work world is the degree actually signifies to most employers that you can stay on track, remain focused, and make a goal and stick to it. And that you're disciplined. That's really what a degree does, or a skilled trade. It's okay we totally change our minds. It's all about living your full life. If at the time it worked and now it doesn't, it's okay.
Sweet. So the degree is more than just a piece of paper that's expensive and a deodorant in some cases.
Correct. It says a lot about a person.
Woohoo!
It says you're committed, you stay on track, you make decisions, and you got the stamp of approval to show it.
It's like, hello, HR office, I have a degree, please let me in.
Yes. Now, of course, in some employers and just people in general put way too much emphasis on the piece of paper, but in a lot of cases, it's just, a stamp of approval.
Well, speaking of stamps of approval, has there been any books that you've read in the past that have really, really inspired you?
Yes, I would say definitely Paul Bronson's book. It's complicated, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
It's about, finding love and keeping it. And he definitely inspired me to move forward with writing my book. And another one, totally off topic, Joyce Meyer's Battlefield of the Mind, how everything, our decisions, our actions, our inactions, it all starts with our mind. And contrary to popular belief, we can literally change our minds and our thoughts. Some people say, you know, thought just came to me and I did it. And even though it happens really fast, thought and action, you can train your mind to stop, assess a thought, and then move forward. And it can change the total journey and path that you're taking with a particular action.
Ooh, very true indeed, especially the Battlefield of the Mind book. That's where I got to get that mind right. So with all this knowledge that you've gained and experience in your coaching business, if you could do it all over again, starting at the age of 25 in 2018, what advice would you give to yourself?
Good question.
I know you're like 23, but just think ahead.
I would find more ways to save more money. Not to get all spiritual, but even in the Bible it says money answereth all things. And a lot of times things did not occur in my life simply because I did not have enough money. But at 25, I was also in a great position to make a lot of money and wealth and save it. And so I definitely would say that, because then a lot more opportunities would have occurred faster and sooner had I had the money to invest in different opportunities. Other than that, I was pretty much on track. So
that's good. Glad the railroad didn't go too far off the track. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's also nice that you mentioned now the scripture, money answereth all things. I mean, it's a way of trading with others. it's merely a tool.
Yes.
That's right. You can either use it to build or destroy, to help or to heal.
Yes.
Well, alrighty, for all those who want to keep in touch with you and keep up with what you're doing, because I know you got some big things coming up this year, where can we find Coach Freda?
All right, I'm on Facebook, and you can reach me at lifecoachfreda@gmail.com to set up seminars on relationship coaching. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships. It could be parent and child, any relationship where there's more than one person. And what I know, right? If you do operate a book club, I would be more than happy to come and speak on behalf of my book and with your book club members. And whatever you might need, if you have a question, I would be more than happy to answer. And if I can't, I can send you to someone else. So lifecoachfreda@gmail.com, or you can also find me on Facebook.
Woohoo! So if the person's in a relationship with themselves, does that count?
I can help you with personal development, yes. With personal development, yes.
Yeah, I wanted to know if those folks out there may have one of those me, myself, and Irene moments who want that extra support.
Yes, personal development. But if you're arguing with yourself and having other issues, I would say I would have to refer you to someone else, a different professional.
Gotcha. Well, there you have it, folks. The wonderful Coach Freda. Go online, pick up her ebook, share it with 500 other people, and then hopefully they can feed the relationships of 5,000 other people and spread the good word. Have her at your book club, and y'all can talk some good stuff. No dirt though. Save the dirt for the ground. But talk about some of that good stuff.
Oh Lord.
Thanks a bunch for your tuning ears on the Going North podcast. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to, once again, check out my book, Going North, on Amazon.com and CreateSpace.com. And if you'd like, feel free to follow me on social media at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Dom Brightman, YouTube at Dom Brightman. And if you want to connect on LinkedIn as well, I am there at Dom Brightman as well. Go out there and make the rest of your